Alright, yo, what is up guys? Shinobi here, back again with another reaction video for you guys. And today we are checking out a video made by Lukewarm Takes called No, You Cannot Fix Her, for anime women who will break you. And I'm really curious on how this is all gonna go. Because you already know the common phrase whenever people find a crazy person, especially crazy women in anime, where it's like, oh yeah, I can definitely fix this character, even though let's be real, we probably can't. And I'm curious on who he thinks the top 4 are on this list. Now, before this video even starts, I'm guaranteeing that Makima and Death are definitely on this list. And if not, then I don't know. But those two are definitely on here because those two had the most simps, and still to this day probably have the most simps, especially with when freaking Chainsaw Man came out. I don't know what the hell they were smoking, and especially if you've watched Chainsaw Man, nah. So as Death is like, if you somehow end up being the main protagonist of a comic got killed, maybe, but even then he couldn't do it. So you're cooked if you try going in that verse and you're not the main character. Like, if you're not reincarnated as him, you're cooked. Which the only reason he even stood a chance is because of the fact that she just completely fell in love with him and him only. Otherwise, you were getting cooked. But either way, gonna react to this. Leave a like, comment down below, all that stuff, and yeah, let's see how this is going.
You can find this famous phrase in the comment section of any clip or post featuring some sort of unhinged or villainous female character in anime, especially if they done something so incredibly heinous to our main characters.
Yeah.
More and more, I would see
pretty much
these reprehensible
that's
actions
pretty
of
much
these characters be completely overshadowed by their hotness. And don't get me wrong, like, I get it. I love a well-crafted villain that has an appealing design to look at, but the phrase "I can fix her" strikes such a specific chord with me because
we ain't fixing shit, bro.
No, you absolutely cannot.
Like, this
and
might be the
course,
one video where it's like, yo, we ain't fixing shit.
That dense,
like, there are some characters that could be redeemable, but let's be real, we ain't fixing jack
because of their attractiveness. Sure, you can boil it down to it being
oh god,
just
not
a bunch
prison
of people
school
who want to be stepped on by their evil power fantasy Dami Mami, but on a deeper level, this phenomenon speaks to the inherent human desire for redemption. Narratively, redemption stories can be a great vehicle for characterization.
Top 10 redemption stories.
The Last Airbender or Scar from Full Metal Alchemist. However, there are characters that are simply just built different.
Jesus Christ.
They're crafted from a mold of pure evil, and that's just who they are inside and out. And sometimes that evil comes in the form of an incredibly attractive anime girl. I happen to personally...
But I'm gonna be real. A lot of these characters, we talk about how we can fix them, but let's be real. If we came face to face to these characters, first of all, we're fumbling the bag. Let's all be real here. We are fumbling so hard. But then on top of that, we would be probably so scared for our lives instinctively that we wouldn't even bother trying, bro. We'd just be noping out of it. We'd just be noping out of it, bro. Like, there's no shot.
I love more pure evil characters, especially when they're built to be unfixable. It's very hard to write characters.
Like, bro, for instance, take Bleach, for example. Who's, like, the craziest female character in that show? Like, what, Bambietta? Yeah, I think so. I think Bambietta is kind of like Candace. She's like a hothead, but even then, she's still psychotic to a degree. Like, we ain't fixing shit up in there, bro. We ain't fixing shit up in there unless we get hella lucky. And as far as I know, she hasn't met Ichigo yet. So, well, she can't because she, well, obviously died. But, well, turned into the zombie. But, yeah. But we ain't fixing shit, bro. We ain't, like, a lot of us be like, yeah, we can get in there. No, we can't. No, we can't. Abort all missions. We gone, bro. We gone.
Like this correctly without making them over the top or too cartoonishly evil. It's even harder to write a villain who happens to be a female, since female characters tend to be underrepresented in battle anime overall. I mean, who here actually cares about Kaguya from Naruto?
Bro, Madara got robbed.
All of this sprouted from the phrase,
we should have had Madara as the final villain.
I thought it would be a good idea to go over some of my favorite examples that serve as the antithesis of that phrase in anime. My name is Luke, and you're watching my channel where I share my lukewarm takes on anime, manga, and more. And today, I'll be going over 4 popular examples of the most unhinged female characters in anime and explaining why you can't fix her.
All
To
right.
start off my list,
What-
I want to
what are
take
we
you
starting
back
with?
to the summer of 2014.
What is this, Tokyo
A
Ghoul?
relatively new anime
Yeah,
had
nah,
just
I
come
agree
out
with this. If this
called
is Tokyo Ghoul.
A young man by the name
Yeah,
of Ken
nah, we ain't
Kaneki was
fixing
asked
that.
out on a date
No,
by a
that's
woman who was
GG's off
suspiciously
the rip.
way out of his league. Kaneki
GG's.
finds out the hard way the meaning of
Dude almost
"it's
became
too
a
good to
pack
be
on the first
true,"
episode.
and ends up missing a piece of his shoulder. As it turns out, the beautiful woman he went out on a date
Yeah, dude
with,
almost became a
Mise
pack in the first
Kamishiro,
episode,
was
bro.
a ghoul, a terrifying carnivorous creature that feeds exclusively on human flesh.
Dude
Realizing
literally
that this
almost
is
became
not
a
how he
pack in the
wanted to
first
end up in
episode.
her
Like,
mouth that
nah,
night,
bro, we
Kaneki
good.
tries his best to run away, but his flimsy virgin body was no match for Rize's overwhelming ghoul strength.
Hell, he got lucky he got
Fortunately for
destroyed
our
by all
frail
those
hero,
pipes.
The plot arrives in the form of
Or those, like,
fortified
steel beam,
beams,
whatever,
which
yeah, the
stopped
beams.
Rize's attack, with the added consequence
He got
of
hella
leaving
lucky, but at the
Kaneki
same time
with more
unlucky as
holes
shit,
than
because
he came in with. At the
if
hospital,
I'm correct,
the doctors had
I'm gonna say, if I'm correct, with this, he had to end up sharing like a body with her or some shit like that, or like some nonsense, and she ended up going into his consciousness a lot or whatnot. It was just a raw deal. Like, the whole thing was ass. Nah, I'm agreeing on this one. We ain't fixing nothing. I don't care.
had no choice but to transplant Rize's organs into Kaneki in order to save him, thus creating the most messed up Yugi/Feral dynamic between him and the first girl who ever touched him. Now, who would take this scenario and go,
Nobody.
yes, I can fix
Let's
her.
be real. There's
Don't
probably
get me
no.
wrong,
There's
I
probably
am
some
part
people
of the
out
anime
there,
community,
but
so I know how
we
many
ain't
people
doing
out
it,
there
bro.
would be
There's no way.
100% into that.
No
But
way.
I am talking about actually fixing Rize.
No.
As in reforming her from the ghoulest of ghouls into
A
someone
normal human, like, you ain't getting anywhere near close to that, bruh. And if you get, even if you somehow get lucky, bruh, no. There's no way you're turning, like, there's no way you're converting her to just becoming normal, bro. Not even slightly. It's not happening.
a little less insane. Amongst other ghouls, Rize was literally nicknamed the binge eater because of
Yeah, I was
how
about to
many
say, she's like
people she would
the
consume
Minato of
monthly.
freaking
She had a systematic
ghouls in that
method
show.
of attracting more simps than a Twitch streamer than taking them out for dinner, quite literally. Not to mention, she constantly pops into Kaneki's head to berate him and further destroy his mental state. She's basically become the opposite of an antidepressant, more like an uber depressant. Depression plus extra strength, if you will. Rize gives you a pretty good idea of the type of characters I'm talking about, but the next one
Oh shit,
on
well
this
there you go,
list
yeah,
is
Makima.
even
Same
less
thing,
fixable,
you're
if
cooked.
you can believe it, and takes things to a whole nother level.
Yeah, you're cooked.
You are not fixing Makima.
You're cooked.
And spoilers ahead for Chainsaw Man, pretty much in
Hell,
its entirety.
if you were even within 50 meters of her vicinity and she takes notice of you, you're cooked.
Unless you are Chainsaw Man himself, you are either expendable to her or a pawn to be used in her plans to obtain Chainsaw Man. If you see Makima and think for a second that she wants anything to do with you, then you have already lost.
Yeah,
Chainsaw
nah,
Man
you're cooked.
is a story about a world that is inhabited by
Bro,
devils.
the amount of simps that were freaking simping over this character when she got animated, man. Jesus Christ. It was something else.
Of a specific
I didn't see the vision, and I
Makima
still don't see the
is
vision.
devil of control. Control as a concept is genuinely terrifying when you think about it. To have your autonomy over your body and even your mind be completely surrendered to an otherworldly creature is extremely fear-inducing. However, when that otherworldly creature takes the shape of a shapely and attractive woman, the dynamics of the story changes from horror to something you'd probably find in the incognito tab. Makima's physical attractiveness is another part of her control dynamics, as she uses her physical beauty and sex appeal as tools for manipulation. And manipulation is the name of the game when it comes to this red-headed control devil, since every
Bro, I'm gonna be real when I say
this,
you'll probably see some shit like that even in real life, man. Like, have you even heard of those cases where there'll be women that, look, they're so beautiful and they use that beauty to have just a bunch of dudes doing a whole bunch of random shit for them? And then they just get discarded afterwards. Like, bro, you see this bullshit happening, like, in real life, bro. Like, you're cooked. You're actually cooked, man.
precisely calculated to achieve her perfect outcome. Once you meet her, you automatically become part of her game, since Makima doesn't view people as beings with agency, but rather pieces on her board to carefully maneuver around. As Denji, Aki, and Power come to find out, any shred of happiness that they experience has been through Makima's design, and all of the suffering they go through is simply
Playing
what she
straight 4D
does because she
chess.
believes she's entitled to the lives of everyone she deems inferior. And in her eyes, everyone is inferior to her, except one, Chainsaw Man. And not our beloved Denji, mind you, but the actual Chainsaw Devil himself,
Yeah, the
Pochita,
dog looking thing. Yep.
aka the hero of hell. Makima develops a huge and strange infatuation with Chainsaw Man because he is the only being that she deems to be on her level. Once Pochita made the contract with Denji to help him find happiness and became his heart, Makima realizes that she can no longer have him and carefully constructs a plan. She plotted to
Well, she does this whole 4D plan where she basically tries to get Denji's mental state to the worst period possible so that Chainsaw Man will reject his body and that's how she could have him, bro. It's the most crazy stuff. Like, we're talking Shikamaru 4D chess. Like, it's actually
and
insane.
utterly break Denji mentally so that he would break his contract with Pochita and Pochita would go on a rampage. She systematically gave Denji everything he's ever wanted: a home, food, a family, and the potential for love and intimacy, and immediately ripped it away to ensure the maximum amount of suffering possible for the poor boy. Everyone in the story was simply used to achieve that purpose.
Like, this is the
Aki was a
Aizen.
big brother
Like,
to
if
be
you want to
taken
go
away
there,
tragically, and Power was
this
the
is
little
the
sister
Aizen
who was used
of
as the finishing
Chainsaw Man.
blow to destroy Denji's mentally shattered psyche after losing Aki. Any other character who posed a threat to Makima's dominance over Denji, like Himeno and Reze, were swiftly dealt with. She was the only person allowed to dispense happiness in Denji's life because she was going to use that happiness to create the world's biggest crash out. So,
like I mentioned, you got Makima and you got Denji. Now replace that with Aizen and Momo, and that's basically how this shit went down. 4D chess, bro. 4D freaking chess.
the answer is no. You are absolutely not fixing Makima because she will ruin you. If she takes a liking to you in any way, it will most likely end with you being mentally, emotionally, socially, physically, and spiritually eviscerated until all that's left in your subconscious are those hypnotic eyes and the feeling of perpetual, endless despair.
Yep,
Or
pretty
if you're
much.
lucky, she'll just crush you from orbit. The amount of violence that Makima brings to the table segues beautifully into the next woman on my list.
Alright, who's
Let's
next?
take a little journey into a shady lagoon where a certain
Oh shit, is
ambidextrous
this
woman has made a name for herself, being the most dangerous person
Black
there.
Lagoon?
Revi from Black Lagoon
Yeah.
is most likely the only woman on this list.
See, here's the thing. Revi's probably about to be the most normal one on this list, but the problem with Revi is she basically grew up in the environment that she's in, so she doesn't even need to be fixed. She just enjoys being in that kind of situation where she's just around violence all the time. Like, the whole thing with her and Rock is that she saw Rock as basically innocent because he basically got thrown into the mix, which is why he ended up hanging out with them in the first place. But at the same time, that's, I think, what made her like him, like, in the first place. He's like innocent in a sense. But the problem is the more he stayed with her, the more he ended up turning into her in a sense. And she didn't like that whatsoever. She did not like that whatsoever because in her eyes, he shouldn't even be there in the first place. But because he is there, it's like she kind of took pity, kind of. I would say that. I don't know. But I digress.
Who
Yeah,
won't
I agree
one-shot
with
you
this
for
one too.
existing.
Honestly,
However,
he's going.
just
This is
because
like 3
she's a
for 3
morally
right now.
ambiguous protagonist doesn't mean that she's someone that you can fix.
3 for 3 right now,
Revi
bro.
is the perfect person to not only survive in the twisted, shady, corrupted world of Black Lagoon, but she actively thrives in it. Her moral compass has been irreparably damaged from her upbringing as a victim of multiple unspeakable and violent crimes done to her as a child, which in turn forced her to adopt that violence as a second language. Violence might as well be Revi's middle name, as everywhere she goes, carnage inevitably follows. As the course of
Freaking that
Black Lagoon
Roberta
goes
scene,
on,
bro.
you can
Freaking
see Revi's
ridiculous. That
mental
whole
state
thing with
has
Roberta was.
deteriorated so severely that nothing really matters to her other than having something to drink and a target to shoot. Having earned the moniker Two Hands due to her preference for dual wielding, Revi rampages through the fictional town of Ranipur. Her raw, unadulterated violence becomes inseparable from the town itself. The reason that we know you can't fix Revi is because there is nothing in her to fix. Revi likes her life. She has stated multiple times how much she enjoys being a pirate, being amongst the filth of society, and exercising her Second Amendment right.
Yeah,
She
basically.
doesn't want to be fixed. If anything, she'll be the one to ruin you. We see this precisely in
Shit, she'll either ruin you or she'll try and save you to not be like her. It's one or the other.
Relationship with Rokuro Ukajima, or Rock for short. He's a Japanese businessman who was used as a scapegoat by his company and ended up on Revi's crew. As Rock spends more time with Revi, the two develop a chaotic friendship that has some romantic undertones. Although Revi herself is too emotionally stunted to admit it, she shows affection for Rock multiple times by going out of her way to protect him and declaring herself to be his quote-unquote gun. She is also very possessive of Rock, most likely due to his innocence.
Yeah, because
However, as
he
the
is not
story of
supposed
Black
to be
Lagoon
there at all.
progresses, we see Rock slowly becoming more and more morally gray. He increasingly became capable of handling the darker side of their business as pirates. Revi sees Rock, this innocent person who doesn't belong in their messed up world, slowly integrating himself into said world both physically and morally. This makes her upset because she likes Rock, whether or not those feelings are romantic, and she has his well-being at the forefront of her mind, and seeing him become more and more like her just didn't sit right with Revi. However, this is exactly what happens. Rock further descends into the darkness and became comfortable with the corruption of Revi's world. As mentioned previously, Revi is inseparable from Ranipur, and its corruption being so near her means that staying there, slowly assimilating into that corruption, is inevitable. Even though Revi doesn't want Rock to become like her, it's just a matter of time as long as he is around her.
Pretty
It's
much.
a rather
Just
tragic
cause and
story about
effect.
a monster trying to stop someone she cares about from becoming just like her by proximity. So ultimately, you can't fix Revi, but she sure as hell can ruin you. Revi is the only woman on this list that I would say is not a villain, but the last character I'm going
Anti-hero.
to talk about is 100%
Kind of.
absolutely demonstrably pure evil.
Alright.
If you combine the raw bloodlust
Who we
of
got
Rize,
for
the
number
detached
4? Because he's already gone
sadism
3
and
for 3. I
dominance
can
of
agree with
Makima,
all of these
and the
so far.
intense capacity for violence of Revi, and put it all into the body of one of the
Ah,
most
yeah, okay. I
demonstrative
was right on 2 of
characters
them.
ever drawn.
So I could at least say I went 2 out of 4. Makima and Esdeath. Yeah, that makes sense. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Is like Esdeath, if you're not the main character of Agame Got Kill, you're cooked.
You'd get Esdeath from
You're
Akame
cooked,
Got
bruh.
Kill. In the world of Akame Got
It was a
Kill,
straight
there are
up
these
miracle
dangerous
that
giant
Tatsumi was
creatures
even able to
called
fumble
danger
this, but even
beasts.
then,
They
it was
rampage and
impossible.
destroy everything in their path, and some are near indestructible.
Still greatest
Esdeath
fumble
took
of
the
all
blood
time,
and
but
soul of one of the strongest danger beasts and drank it. She took in all of that rage and pure animalistic carnage, licked her lips, and said, "Yummy." I'm pretty sure that Makima overshadowed Esdeath in
this is like
public.
if Unohana had her personality that she had when she was fighting Kenpachi, but she had that same personality on at like all times, like the whole I want to basically kill everything personality, or like I love fighting personality kind of thing. With everything else that he mentioned too, that's basically what Esdeath is in a nutshell.
Popularity as Chainsaw Man became a new big thing in town, but I want to remind everyone just how unhinged and purely evil this blue-haired dominatrix really is. She was raised on the sole ideology that strength and violence is the only way the world operates, and she cannot shift from that as it is part of who she is. She made the Spanish Inquisition look like a trip to Disneyland. She invented the term sadomasochism in her world, and she spends all of her free time literally coming up with ways to make the human body wish it couldn't feel things. Esdeath is cruelty incarnate, and you are telling
Pretty
me that
much, yeah.
you
The
can
bullshit that
fix
she was
her?
doing was
I don't
actually
think I need to
insane.
provide more evidence to back up what I'm trying to say, but if you watched Akame ga Kill, you'll realize that the only person who had any chance of possibly fixing her actively tried his best for like half the story, and look where he ended up. Tatsumi is
Yeah,
quite
damn near
possibly
almost
one of the
dead.
most milquetoast, average-looking generic anime protagonists out there. Basically, if your average anime fan was dropped into this world, they would be Tatsumi. When Esdeath
Hell,
met him, she
if you put your average anime fan in this world, bro, first of all, we're fumbling the bag. Second of all, we probably wouldn't last 2 seconds because we're gonna be dead because we're gonna do something really dumb and won't know what to do. And third, even if we somehow get through all of that and somehow make it to Esdeath, we don't stand a chance, bro. We don't stand a chance, bro. We're going to get cooked on sight. We're gonna get cooked on sight. I'm just being real with y'all. I would love to be cracking the joke and be like, yeah, I could do it. No, no. Shit. Hell, I'd be lucky if I even bothered to join Night Raid, bro, because I ain't doing half the shit Tatsui's been doing. I'm gonna be serious with y'all. As much as we like to talk about how we like to be Soul Reapers and Naruto and Ninja, screw that. I ain't fighting Martyr, or like going to like One Piece. We ain't becoming pirates. We ain't doing this shit, bro. And we let alone sure as hell ain't fixing nobody, bro. No shot. No shot. We are the regular degglers, bro. As confident as I could be, there's no way in hell I'm going into freaking Agame Got Killed and thinking, oh, as death, complete psychopath killing all these people. Yeah, I could definitely fix it, bro. The main reason Tatsumi got up in there is by literal mistake, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. It doesn't even make sense to me to this day, and he still fumbled.
took the term love thy enemy to a completely new level. Esdeath was hopelessly head over heels in love with Tatsumi. She reached simp levels that would not be matched until Zenitsu from Demon Slayer was introduced. There was nothing that could make Esdeath stop loving Tatsumi from the moment she met him, and he had the
Bag
exact
was
same
fumbled,
thought that
man.
most of you were
It was
having
the
when
bag wasn't
Avocado
even
Mania
fumbled,
Fatty
like
declares her undying love for you. Those 4 magic words. I can fix her. And he did give it his best try. They even had a whole beach episode where Tatsumi had the chance to change her for the better, but still, nothing could
nothing, man.
convince Esdeath to stop being
Nothing.
the monster that she was. The anime version of her death scene showed us that even in her last moments, she still loved Tatsumi, and that the only way they could have possibly been together was exactly like that. Esdeath, the endless dispenser of death, finally gets her lover as they both meet death together. Esdeath could never be fixed because she never had any desire.
Yes,
to
it's
be
the same as
fixed.
Revi.
There was nothing in her
It's the same
that
as
wanted
Revi all
anything
over
other
again.
than the destruction of her enemies and the subjugation of those weaker than her. Even her love for Tatsumi was fraught with those toxic power dynamics. He felt more like a pet to her than someone on an equal level.
That is
In the
definitely
end,
true.
No one could fix Esdeath. So, what did we learn today? Well, the next time you see a 10 out of 10 baddie with more red flags in a FIFA game, do not utter the phrase, I can fix her.
We
Because
will, but
trust
let's
me,
be real, we
you
can't.
definitely can't. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'm thinking about doing a sequel to this video with male characters that you can't fix because we're fans of gender equality on this channel. So if you would like that video, let me know in the comments down below. And as
Shit,
always,
but
don't forget to like and
because
subscribe, and I'll catch
yeah,
you
I'm
next
about to
time
say
with
some of the characters that my freaking sisters be simping for, man, they need a reality check. They need a reality check. But great video. I definitely agree with all his takes. He actually went 4 for 4. There wasn't anything I had to disagree with, and normally I'd be trying to be funny and be like, oh, I can definitely do it. But like literally all of his picks, not only have I seen the anime before, but it just makes sense. Like that's how much I've watched as far as the anime goes. As far as these 4 anime that he mentioned goes, it's like I've seen Tokyo Ghoul, I know how that all goes. I've seen Black Lagoon, I've seen Agame Got Killed and how that went with Esdeath. Shit. I've seen damn near Chainsaw. I've seen it all. Like I know how bad it could get. So Yeah, he ain't lying. Shit, he ain't lying. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. I want to know in the comments, do you think you can fix any of them? Cause y'all tougher than me, man. If you can, if you think you can, bro, I'm dipping out immediately. I'm good. And no, before any of y'all say no, none of y'all are fixing Kaguya either. I already know there's some of them Kaguya sims out there. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out.